If I were a beginner, this is exactly how I learned how to trade. And as a beginner, you suck at trading. You guys have so many flaws and you're very reckless about your trades. But I have a system that will make this process 10 times easier to become a profitable trader. Now, the first thing I do is I would load up $1,000 account. Now, don't let that scare you. You could literally start out with $100. The goal is to learn how to actually trade, the strategy itself. It's not about making money whatsoever. It's about learning the strategy. And the strategy we're going to be using today is breakout momentum scalping. That's the main strategy that I use for my main account. And you can use it with as little money as possible. So right now, we're not focusing on making the money. We're focusing on building that foundation with the least amount of risk. So for all the people that loaded up $10,000 because you guys have $10,000, it's not going to make a difference because you guys are just being stupid with your money and you guys are risking more money to build the same foundation as someone that's only risking $100 or $1,000. Now, the first thing I want to tackle is overtrading. Now, with this strategy, you're going to get at least 1 to 2 A+ setups. Now, for the people that are overtrading, they're obviously going to get more than 2 trades a day. So how do we combat this and make it so you literally can't trade after 2? Have this $1,000 or have $100 and every position size will be half of your account, which means that you could at most take 2 trades in a single day. So for example, if you have a $1,000 account, you would have 500 position size and then a $500 position size. After that, you literally have no more money to trade with until the next day. So you literally can't overtrade. That's the first thing. That's the first problem that we're getting out. And this is all in a cash account. So once you use the $500, you can't use it again until the next day. Now, the second thing is we don't know where to really put our risk at. We don't have the best entry and we don't know where to sell at for our winners. So how do we combat this? The easiest way I'm going to do this is set a 10% risk and a 10% reward. This way, I don't have to get the best entry. I don't have to get the best exits. And this allows me to really focus on my execution without having to worry of getting stopped out too quickly or taking profits and knowing when to take profits, because we're going to build on that. We have to separate all the problems first, control all the controllables, and let the uncontrollables play out by us reacting to it. And how are we going to do that? By controlling these controllables and our risk and our rewards there. So now we're just focusing on the win rate. Now we're just focusing on the execution so that we could build off each part of trading and making sure the execution is good. Now we go over to the risk management side, then we go over to the take profit side, and then we go over to etc. But this alleviates all of that. So we're only focusing on one problem at a time. So later on, when we change this optimized strategy, this is going to be a 5% risk and a 15% reward, which means this is a 1 to 3 risk reward, and you only need a 25% plus win rate to be profitable. Now imagine an 80% win rate with that. It's insane. Now that we got all the controllables out the way, this will allow us to focus on one problem at a time. Now, let's say we start taking some trades and our win rate is 50%. We're taking the best, leaving the rest. Can't overtrade, anything like that. Let's say our win rate's 50%. We're going to be break even, right? 10% loss, 10% reward. We're at a 50% win rate. So the first step is to just get better entries. And how do we do that? We figure out our criterias in finding those A+ setups. We could either take better trades, stop taking stupid trades, even though you're limited to 2 trades per day. Stop taking those stupid trades because you got FOMO, and really focus on getting these better trades. And I promise you, this win rate will go from 50% to 60%. The next step is to optimize this -10 plus 10 risk to reward. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to be able to make more money on the same exact trade that we're taking, just with lower risk and a higher reward. So I'm going to scale down my risk to -8%, and I'm still going to keep that 10% reward because I want to focus now on our risk. Our win rate might fall from 60 to 50%, but that's okay because we're going to start building off of that again. So if our win rate is down to the 50%, now we're going to have to figure out why are we losing that 10%. And we figured out it's because we're not getting the best entries. So right now we're really focusing on getting better entries and focusing on just stopping out at that -8% every single time. We'll get our win rate back up to 60% and then we go from there. We're focusing on our reward, right? It's at 50, 60s. Now we're back in the 60%. Now we focus on our reward. Our reward was 10%. Now it's going to be 12%. And now you guys can see this risk reward is getting better and better and better. Let's say our win rate drops again to 50%. What do? We get better entries because, for example, if you're entering too late, that reward is not going to hit as fast as if you're entering right on time. So you're really going to focus on the time of sales and just getting better and better entries as we're building up. We're applying the risk, we're applying the reward as we're getting better and better as entries. Once we get a better entry, and let's say our win rate's back up to 60% now with that 12% and negative 8%, I'm going to really try and focus on getting that past the 60% by making it a 65% win rate. So now we're at a 65% win rate with a 12% reward and a negative 8% risk. We're at a 65% win rate, way more profitable than the 60% win rate with a 10 to 10. I want to focus on changing our reward, not our risk just yet. I want to change our reward to 15%. And let's say this drops to 60% because if it goes to 12%, it's probably going to go to 15% most of the time based off previous data. So 60% win rate now. We're at the negative 8% risk plus 15% reward. And now I want to start dropping this risk. I want to drop this risk since we're at 60%. As long as we're holding that 60%, it's fine. Let's drop it to 6% and see what happens. Now we're back down to a 50% win rate because our entries aren't good. So we're getting stopped out way faster. So we really have to make sure not only are we taking the best and leaving the rest, but you're getting that proper entry or else you're going to get stopped out way too fast. You should not be anticipating it. You should be getting it as it's breaking or else you're going to get stopped out because it's going to touch the wall, come back down, and just stop you out literally instantly. So make sure you guys aren't anticipating anything like that. We'll get our win rate back up to around 60% just by making sure that we're really getting the best entries, no anticipation, and you're getting in as is breaking, not before and not after, unless before it looks really good, but that's a little bit too advanced. Don't even think about that yet. Now we're at a 70% win rate with a 15% reward and a negative 6% loss. You're up, right? That's pretty profitable. How do we keep refining this? We're going to have to journal. And we're going to have to see, what is our ideal setup? What is our A+ setup? Trades after 10:30. You guys will see that it's probably lower probability. So stop taking trades after 10:30. How many times does it hit your stop loss and then keep going, right? This is all the stuff that you got to journal. Because if it touches your stop loss and then keeps going, then you're either getting in at the wrong times, getting in late, getting in early, and it's just all that stuff could be playing into your entries. So it just depends on what your problems are. And the only way you're going to solve that is by journaling your problems. So if my stop loss keeps getting hit and I see it every single time on this exact setup, it keeps getting hit, but I'm getting in a little bit too late, then it's probably because I'm getting in too late. So how do we fix it? Now we have actionable steps. If we're getting in too late, how do we focus on getting in at a better time? You guys are going to have to screen record, watch your screen, and see what the time of sales is doing, everything was doing in order to get a better entry. But you have to know what your problems are, and this is how we journal. That's how we get it from that 70% win rate up to the 85% win rate. And obviously, it's going to take time. Like, for example, year 1, you're at a 70% win rate. Year 2, you're at a 72% win rate. Year 3, you're at a 74% win rate. Like, it grows over time. Now, maybe not this slow, maybe not that fast. It all depends on who you are. But the main foundation is just build it up the smart way. And then just keep refining it until you hit a 15% reward and a negative 5% risk with a 70% win rate plus, and keep it that way. And that's exactly my step-by-step process on if I had to start all over again.